Hi guys, welcome to Iggy's Toy Parade and Soldier Review. This is your host, Iggy. Yeah. Thank you for that. Well guys, tonight we're going to take a look at a Ford Apache. This particular playset was manufactured in 1978. And I couldn't find my Marx Ford Apache King of the Playsets book. I don't know where I put it. I found Civil War and Battleground and a bunch of other stuff, but I couldn't find my Ford Apache book. But I'm thinking that 1978 was the final year for Ford Apache. Now, this particular box is with the uh, paper wrap. It's a cardboard box, and it's got this printed paper on it. And it's virtually identical to the 1977 set, except for a very important detail. If you notice from this photograph, there's something missing that the 1977 set had. Virtually everything is the same as you see here, with the exception that the 1977 play set had blockhouses on the two front corners. And I think that would greatly enhance the play set if those were present in this one. But I guess because of cost issues, they discontinued the block, including the block houses, with this. So I looked at the contents that I have in my playset and compared it to the illustration, and I have everything that you see here with the exception of the kettle over the campfire and two barrels, which can be seen here. And then I guess this one doesn't have it either. There should be an Indian pony, and I don't see it on here. Oh, here it is. Here's the Indian pony. I'm also missing that. But other than those exceptions, I have the complete set. So it comes with the standalone blockhouse, which is one of my favorites. I love these. I think I have like 4 of them. I got a little out of control with that. And I'm not sure if, I don't think this is tin. I think it's a paper flag, but I could be mistaken. It looks pretty stiff, so it could be tin. Now, mine has tin because I purchased another one. The flag was missing from my playset, so I purchased another one. It was all rusty, and my brother restored it for me, and I'll let you take a look at that. So Louis Marx was born in 1896, and he passed away in 2082. So he didn't live very much longer after the demise of his company. Unfortunately, he did live long enough to see his company vanish, which is a real pity because I think Marx was in business from 1919. They started off making tin wind-up toys and things. The first Ford Apache made its appearance in 1951, and the chief designer for playsets at Marx admitted that they were very influenced by the Henry Fonda, John Wayne movie of the same name, Ford Apache, which came out in 1948. And if you've seen that movie, it's pretty good. Although you can see why Shirley Temple's career never progressed. Shirley Temple was quite good looking. And she was quite, I shouldn't probably say this, but she was quite developed. However, she still had that pouty little girl attitude that was really off-putting. When a guy wants to make out with a woman, he doesn't want her going, go, 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 I'm going to back you. No, that's a real turn. I don't know, some guys might think that's exciting, I don't care for that myself, but to each his own. Anyway, let's take a look at the playset. It says that it's for ages 4 to 10. I'm going to be 68 soon, so I guess I am okay as far as that goes. And here's the playset. I didn't include all the pieces, as you can see here. There just wasn't enough room on the table to include everything. Now, the Ford pieces did not go together well at all. These are merely resting upon each other, and the gate kept falling off so much, as you can see it over here, I just left it off. Now, there should only be one cannon, and I suspected I bought these cannons later after buying the playset because they're very shiny. They don't look like they're contemporary to the playset. And I'll show you what I mean by that. It just looks very shiny. Now, I for years I had an original like this from my Civil War playset, and it was a dull black plastic or a matte finish, and this one is glossy. I think I bought this when I went to the Marx Museum in West Virginia, where the old Marx factory used to be. It was not far from there. It was a really great museum, and I'm very sorry to report to you that they have since gone out of business and sold off the collection. But it was an excellent museum, and I really enjoyed it. And I saw it in 2016, and later that year they closed up, and I feel, I don't know, it's like a little bit of magic has left the world. Bit by bit, all the things that made the past wonderful are disappearing, including Iggy. I don't know if Iggy made the past wonderful, but he's going to disappear too. Now these keep falling over. I'm sorry about that. These, I don't know if you can tell from uh, the camera here, but they're sort of a burnt orange color, and they are marked Marx. I'll show you what I mean by that. See that? So I found that interesting. I'm not surprised because it's an original set. However, none of the cavalry, well, these are not actually cavalry figures. These are those weird figures they came out with that are sort of a mixture of pioneers. And these predate the cavalry figures they came out with, I think, in 1967. They came out with soldiers that were dedicated to the Ford Apache playset. However, this group here is the earlier set, which was more of a pioneer type of thing. You can see there a sort of Davy Crockett looking guy with a tomahawk. And you'll notice that they're holding a musket as opposed to a rifle. See that? And I think he even has a powder horn. He's got a flintlock pistol. I thought there was a powder horn on here. I guess that's it there. It's hard to see the detail. They have the Ford accessories here in the background. When I got the set, they included a barrel that was from the Marx wagon and a table that was from the Marx ambulance, Civil War ambulance. So I guess whoever owned this before was mixing parts, or he noticed that there was some parts missing from this, so he included it to sort of fill it out somewhat. Now, I do have a reproduction Indian pony that I can seat this guy on, so that's not a problem. And this is the two-story blockhouse. Oh, let me show you the flag. I promised to. Is this the one my brother? No, this is not the one my brother painted. This is, I think, a 20-star flag. The Civil War sets, of course, had the 36-star flag. I love these blockhouses. Let me see if I can turn it around so you can get an idea of what it looks like on the inside. This is not really together very well either, so it might just fall apart here as I'm turning it. Look at all the dirt. Oh my God. I feel like Howard Carter opening up King Tut's tomb here. Look at all the dirt in there. I have this on display in my kitchen. It's no wonder I have allergies when you see all the dust. Anyways, pretty cool. I really do think they did a great job. Now, I think the first time these made an appearance was with Fort Dearborn. Although it might have been with a Revolutionary War set. I remember seeing it with that too. So a lot of things were recycled. For instance, this cannon was in the Alamo set and also the Civil War set. So a lot of things made its way around, I guess. Anyway, it makes me sad that these are a thing of the past. Like I said earlier, I think 1978 may have been the last year, but I can't confirm that. I tried looking it up online, and they give you the 1995 date. Remember when there was a Fort Apache released in 1995? But the only problem with it is that it had MPC cavalry instead of the Marx figures that you see here. They had the same Indian. By the way, the Indians are shorter than the cavalrymen. They look like they're 2 inches tall as opposed to 2.5. So let's do a comparison. See how much taller the cavalryman is? That could be a cost savings measure because, of course, if you have a 1/2 inch less on each figure, you're saving plastic. But you can definitely see a difference between the two there, which I think is pretty interesting. Okay, guys, there's 3 different colors for Fort Apache stockade pieces. One being this dark chocolate color, which is what the fort came in the final days of Fort Apache. Then there's the rust color, or the burnt sienna, I guess some people call it adobe red. And then there was what I call Milky Way chocolate, which is what early Rin Tin Tin Fort Apache playsets came in, was the milk chocolate plastic. And I had a whole bunch of milk chocolate ones, and I got rid of, well, I shouldn't say I got rid of them because I'll get hate mail. I sold them on eBay because I thought, well, this can't be authentic, because I didn't know at the time. I thought that the rust color was the only color that the fort came in, and because that's what I saw when I was a boy. However, as you can see here, there's a little difference in colors there. So one final thing before I say goodnight to you. I think I need a sip of root beer here. You know, it's easier to drink when you take the top off. I'm glad you didn't see that. That's good. Okay. In 1964, my friends Mark and Neil, I was over at their house. They lived 2 doors over from us. And I was admiring his Ford Apache because he had the giant Ford Apache. I think that his parents got at Montgomery Ward. And it had the blockhouse over the gate. Instead of this, it had the blockhouse I think I have a sample of it up there. And Mark saw that I was really drooling over this thing. And he said, would you like to have it? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Yes, I would love to have this. This is awesome. Oh, thank you so much, Mark. And he said, just a minute. And he reaches behind him. He pulls out a hammer and smashes it and breaks it into all these different pieces. He said, okay, now you can have it. I'm still affected by that all these years later. People used to like doing tricks like that on me because I was very passionate about certain things and they thought it was ridiculous. And so they would pull tricks like that. Like, oh, would you like this G.I. Joe? Oh, yeah. They tear the head off or something. It's just stupid stuff. Anyway. All right, guys, well, grab your Fort Apache, get your Indians, get your cavalry. We'll meet up in someone's backyard and we'll set it up. Let's dig a little trench and get one of those Civil War bridges and put over it and get the hose and put water so that there'll be like a river. And then since there's so many of you, we could get some more teepees and make a really nice-sized Indian village. That would be awesome. I'm going to have to put this with something else because it's only supposed to have one cannon, not two. Okay, guys, that's it for tonight. I want to thank those of you who got joined the Iggy Army and enlisted. And it's not like the Roman legions. You don't have to serve for 20 years and be lucky if you made it to the end of 20 years. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, so why not give it a go? I had someone subscribe last week and they looked at my video and then immediately took away their subscription, I guess, because it disappeared. And I'm like, why do people do that? Come on. That's not nice. Anyway, he probably saw that there was Star Wars or Star Trek, or maybe that's what they wanted to see and they didn't like the toy soldiers. My focus is primarily toy soldiers and was G.I. Joe, but I haven't gotten any G.I. Joe things in a long time because the 40s are gone now. But if you want to give a like and a comment, that would be really appreciated. And I try and respond to, I do read all of them and do respond when I can. So why don't we go... You know, for some reason, I've been craving a Bob's Big Boy hamburger. Probably because the doctor said I can't have those. But in Burbank, California, there's still a Bob's Big Boy. They used to be a nationwide chain, and they all went out of business. And we could get into why that is, but I think it's because they drifted away from their original mission, which was to serve hamburgers. And what they did is they became like a restaurant, like a Chili's or I can't think of any other restaurants like that, but you know what I mean. And they lost track of the fact that they were a burger place. And then also another thing that killed their business is teenagers would hang out there all night long and they would maybe order a Coke or nothing at all. And they would cause a lot of problems and the waitress would get stiffed on the bill or no tip. So it was hard to get help at night. So a lot of things contributed to their end. But the Bob's Big Boy in Burbank is still doing the original mission of serving good hamburgers. And we could all meet up there and sit at the counter. That would be awesome. Watch them make our burgers for us. All right, guys. I got a pee and there's a teepee. I guess that would made me think of it. Sometimes you have to pee and sometimes you have to teepee. Sometimes you're sleepy and you go in the teepee. By the way, here's a cultural anomaly here. These totem poles were not used by Plains Indians. They were used by Northwest American Indians. So Indians from, say, Oregon, Washington, Canada, and Alaska used totem poles. And the totem poles would tell a story, like if they had like a really great hunt, they would carve little things onto the totem pole that would tell the story of that. So it's kind of like a history of their tribe in a way. Also, some of these Indians, like this guy here, he looks like a woodland Indian. See that? He's got a. Can you see that? He's got a mohawk. And then there's an Indian that looks like he is wearing Hanes underwear or Fruit of the Loom. See that? And then looks like he's not wearing anything in the back there. So that's kind of interesting. Anyway, I'm taking up too much of your time here. So let's zoom in. Yay! All right, guys. Thank you. And try and subscribe. That would really help me out because it lets me know that I'm reaching someone. I noticed that in the analytics, I have like 169,000 views and only 800 subscriptions. So I guess that means Iggy sucks pretty hard. Bye, guys.